Today I'm going to share with you how my nano writing has been going so far. Hello there, my name is Tanya. Welcome to my writing realm, where I share with you everything I learn along my journey as an independent author. Today is Friday, November 18th, and I would have to say NaNo 2022 has been by far one of the easiest nanos that I've been involved in. Why? I must tell you why. During the AuthorTube interview video sessions, one of my questions was, do you listen to music while you write? And for me, all this time, it has been no. But I hadn't actually tried it. Now, I had tried some peaceful sound effects, like the rainforest and rain coming down and birds and so on and so forth, but I found it too distracting. So I just kiboshed the whole idea, and I knew I couldn't focus with music with words and lyrics because I found that would distract me from focusing on the words. But I decided with this nano that I was going to try to listen to soundtracks or instrumental music. So with writing high fantasy, I thought, why not listen to some Lord of the Rings soundtracks? So I went on YouTube and I found some awesome songs, basically streaming together different Lord of the Rings versions. I found some other soundtracks like dragon music, basically anything fantasy related. And I've been playing that in the background while I'm writing, and let me tell you, it really put me in that mindset. It's really helping. Okay, so let's go to my nano dashboard. I am at 39,017 words as of November 17th. I haven't written yet today because, well, I'm a busy woman. So as you can see by my overall progress, I have been, pretty steady, and I've done beyond the minimum word count most days. There was only a couple of days where I did not actually meet my daily word count goal. And here's another lovely, mountain tracker here. Most of the time I write in my bedroom. My average words per day has been 2,167, which is amazing. And at this rate, if I keep going at this rate, I would be done by November 23rd. Now that being said, this weekend, one of my kids has a hockey tournament just outside of town, and it's going to pretty much consume our entire weekend. I'll probably bring my computer with me and write in the car in between games, but I don't know how well I'm going to be able to focus. There's always a lot of movement, lots of people. But maybe if I try playing these soundtracks in the background while I'm writing, it could actually help me keep writing while we're on the go. So this is funny. My writing speed is 19 words per minute. But if I'm actually doing like a writing test, I get 65 to 75 words per minute. But I think it's a big difference when you're writing because you're kind of using your brain and focusing while you're writing. That's why it looks like it's so much less. But also, I am still a mom and I still get interruptions. The kids come by, Mom, can I have a snack? Mom, can I watch a show? Mom, can I go to Grandma's? Anyways, I get lots of distractions at home. I did give them that heads up to say, hey guys, this is November. This time, please don't interrupt me when I'm writing. They've done a lot better than they have in previous years, but they still interrupt me because, well, they need me. And all right, my mood, how I felt, has been pretty good throughout this nano experience, which is absolutely wonderful. And I write mostly between 8 and 9. Of course, I have a full-time job, so most commonly I write in the evenings. Now, I did show this on a previous video on my live stream, but I'll also show you my nano tracking on my Excel document. So this is a document or a spreadsheet that I created just for this nano to try it out so that I could document things in my own way. Now, because I'm working on a project that I previously started on last year's nano, I am doing like add-ons to chapters or brand new chapters and fitting it in. And so I wanted to be able to say, okay, I'm starting at this word count in this chapter and I finished at this, so I wrote this many words. Anyways, the bottom line is, here's my total words written. I'm 78% done. I have 10,983 words left, which is absolutely crazy at this stage. Normally I'm struggling at the end to meet the 50,000. I need to average 915 words per day to make it for the end of the month. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now, based on the hours, the total time I've spent writing, I write an average of 1,167 words per hour. And again, I think that it would be higher if I, had everything in front of me and I was just typing it. But when you're stopping and you're thinking and you're creating a world while you're writing, it's just not that fast. So another thing about my Nano project, when I started writing this story last year in 2021 Nano, my goal was to write short stories. So I had written two high fantasy stories, but they were meant to be short stories, and I didn't quite finish them. But then when I was done, because they're written in the same world, I decided, hey, this is part 1, and this is part 3 of the same novel. So I'm breaking my novel into 3 separate parts. So this Nano, I started with part 2, because I can't finish writing the rest of part 3 until I know exactly what happens in part 2, and I'm a pantser. So I've written all of part 2, and guess what? I realized I need another part of the story that links part 2 to part 3. So part 3 is now part 4, and I am now working on part 3. Makes sense? So now I have a 4-part novel. Part 1 and part 2 is pretty much done. I'm working on part 3, and part 4 is not even a third of the way written. Now, I'm thinking that I'm probably around 70,000 words or 60,000 words in this novel so far, and because it is high fantasy, it is going to be a larger novel. So even though Nano is going to be done on November 30th, my book is not going to be finished yet. So I'm just going to keep weaseling away at it, chipping away, writing, and writing. Yes, she agrees. While she's barking in the background, I'm sorry about that, I'm just going to keep going. So on November 25th, I have a book sale at a vendor market. It's a Christmas vendor market when I will be selling all of my self-published books, including Living Undiagnosed and my Red Crime Thriller series. Oh yes, and some notebooks, a recipe notebook, some bookmarks and that, so I'm really hoping that goes well. The cost at the table was $70 Canadian, so I'm really hoping that I can at least recover the $70. Now, one of the benefits to this is all of the cost that went into making these hand-printed books and the printed book from KDP. All of the cost, except for a couple of books, came out of last year's financial range. So anything that I sell is basically going to be profit, providing I go beyond $70. Now, in addition to all of those books, my friend Story Tyrant is also going to be providing me with a bunch of the Lake Winnipeg writers' books called Voices, and I'll be selling those at the vendor market table as well. So, that shall be fun. Lots of work. Yes. I don't know yet if I'm going to write at the vendor market. Sometimes I'll bring my writing stuff when I'm selling books at a table because, the crowd can sometimes dwindle at times and you're just sitting there staring off into space. So I'm going to potentially bring my writing stuff with me in case I do find myself at that stage of there's nobody there. But it is a Christmas craft sale, so here's hoping. So let me know down below how your Nano is going as of today. What is your word count? And how's your story coming along? Have a great rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, or whatever, and happy nanoing, because I can talk. Yes, I can talk.